Here we are, week 8 Barcelona Marathon training, Tuesday the 18th. Less than a month's time now that it's going to be here. In the last video, the long run was a bit crazy, wasn't it? But it's a new week and I've got another massive long run this Sunday, the biggest one, the biggest key long run. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it's going to give me the answers that I'm looking for. I forgot to answer any questions on the last video actually, so I thought I'd sit down and start the video answering a couple of questions. Let's start with Sivanesan14. Do you plan to do all of the majors at some point? So he's talking about the world majors, seven of them now, but traditionally they've been 6. I generally don't, it's not something that I personally would want to, boast about or feel really impressed about, because I know a lot of the times it's about down to logistics or financial reasons why people can or cannot do them. Personally, for me, I could have run Boston multiple times, I could have run Chicago multiple times, but logistics, financials, all that sort of stuff has stopped me doing that. All the marathons, even Boston, you can actually just buy your way into anyway through various methods. There's sport tour companies, there's free tickets for VIPs, maybe celebrities, and special cases, and then there's corporate places from banks and sponsors and stuff like that. They all exist for Boston as well. It's just Boston it's a little bit smaller and most people have to qualify. I know a lot of people from Thailand that just fly straight into London Marathon to run it and just pay a bit of money and get in. They don't even have to raise money for charity. To say to me I've run all the 6 majors, that wouldn't be the impressive part. I'd be more interested in the fact that if they've run the 6 or 7 world majors, I'd be more impressed with the fact that at least they've run, at the very least they've run 6 marathons. Running multiple marathons, that many is, for me, that's the interesting bit. You can run a marathon anywhere. It could be your local town or whatever city, low-key event, but if you've got a really great story, the training to it, what happened at the start line to the finish line, if something's really interesting, intriguing, and the circumstances, something interesting about it, then that's the impressive part for me. I'm not saying that wouldn't happen in your majors, but I'm just saying I'm always invested in the stories and the circumstances and the contextual, factors around marathons, rather than running it at some big world major or whatever, following any plan to capture the world majors. If I ever do more, then that's fine, but it's not something on my immediate plan purposely to do. Another question, let's go for Oliver Michael Revel. I'm preparing for my first half marathon in 3 months' time. What's the best way for me to train for this, especially in the run-up to the event? Sorry, I've answered this very late. 3 months' time, it would be March. I'm not the best person to ask for stuff like training. I feel like I'm on a journey myself. In your question, you've not really put much context around it, your first half marathon, and I don't know if that means it's your first event or you were like pure beginner, so I don't really know, but I'm gonna go with first event, first half marathon, beginner runner, and link it to when I ran my first half marathon. I wasn't really running at all. I was just going out for some runs, just casually. I ran my first half marathon, and when I got there, I was just so wowed by everything. The crowd, the event, and just the atmosphere, the energy of the people and things. I didn't even know what paces were. I remember walking past some paces at the start, and I remember saying to Sai, why have they got these massive poles on the back with flags? Surely that's going to slow them down. So I had no clue. Everything was new to me, everything was great, everything was wow this, wow that, and just the buzz of the whole event. I think it's good to get sort of a base time down to see where you fall at, where your fitness level is. Then I started to think, how do I get that down? How do I train? I started to look into a little bit about training. Try and enjoy your first event. Try and enjoy it as best as you can, and hopefully that will lead you down to an idea of where your next training goal could be. Enjoy the day, sort of thing. So yeah, those are the questions. I'll see you in a little while. Week 8 of Barcelona Marathon training. Big session today. It's
a threshold session. I'm going to do 7 times 2 kilometres. I've come to Dronfield. I've used this park before in my build up to Amsterdam. A Dronfield running club call it the Bernard Loop. It's about 800 metres, sort of a perfect loop, and I'm going to use this road as well. I'm back to this area after the 2k stretch, just so I'll leave my bottle here. Got a little bit of incline on the ends of the straights on the loop, so it's not 100% ideal, but I just preferred it today just because of the it's half term, the parks are going to be rammed. I've just done a little warm up, so I'm going to get a little dynamic stretch in, and then I'm going to start this session. Right, dynamic stretch is done. Had a little jog before that, tiny little jog after the stretches, and I'm going to get ready to start now. See you after a few reps or something. I'll have a see in a bit. Fourth set done. They went pretty smooth, to be honest. I'm hitting paces where I want to be. Anywhere from 4-minute kilometre pace around up to 4:06.7. 1 minute 15 seconds rest. I think the next few are going to start getting quite hard, so yeah, it's time to knuckle down a little bit. Going alright so far. That's the 6th one done. Got 1 more to go. I'm feeling good, to be honest. I was actually dreading this session, but I feel like I'm getting really fit at the moment. So yeah, I'll see you on the last one. Coming to the end. Oh, I feel good. Smashed it. That's why I'm filming. Otherwise I won't be able to. Session done. 7 out of 7. Probably just have a little cool down jog. But yeah, that felt okay. That felt good. I feel like that went perfect because I never felt I was in trouble. Never felt I was redlining. Every single rep felt really strong and consistent. Quite difficult to get the pacing right, but I think I did quite well. I understand that it's very difficult to get exact threshold pacing. The only way to know really is having a lab test, but 99% of us don't really have access to that or the funds because it's very expensive. And then if you do manage to get it, it can change in a few months, so you just have to base it off either a race time. I don't really have a recent half marathon time to do it. Somewhere around 4-minute kilometre pace to around 4, even up to 4:10, just depends. And I think a lot of them were under, so yeah, I was fast, flowy, never in trouble or anything like that. So I think I ran that pretty much. I think I ran that session as good as I can get it, really. So I got the name wrong earlier. I think I said Bernard. It's Barnard. Sorry, Dronfield Running Club. I've named your training loop wrong, but it's Barnard. But yeah, that's done. I'll see you in a bit. What are you eating? What are you eating?
Baba.
Baba. Carb loading for tomorrow's long run. Rice for the main dinners. Rice crackers, bananas, drinks, apple juice. I'm going to do the same route as I did last week. Yeah. It's a great route when it's dry, so I'm hoping tomorrow with a day of sun and higher temperatures it'll take all the moisture from the muddy trail. I hope. It can't be as bad as last time anyway, and we got it done, didn't we? So tomorrow's the massive long run. I've had a bit of a little home emergency yesterday. There was a valve underneath the bath that had broken, I guess. Don't really know much about it, but it was just pouring water out the ceiling through a hole, and there was all the floor was flooded. So I cut my run, I legged it back home. We turned the water off, and today, last night we were cleaning up. Didn't have a very good night's sleep just because of all the stress. I'm going to try and get to bed early tonight. It's all fixed now. Hugo, where are you going? Right, I've got to stop because he's getting close to that. Good morning. It is not Sunday morning, it is Monday morning. No long run yesterday, and the long run has to happen on a Monday instead, and there's a reason for that. Weekend on the Friday evening, we had a leak from the bathroom, flooded the kitchen on Friday evening, so that was very stressful. Didn't get much sleep on that night at all. And then Saturday, carb loaded as normal, really gearing up for a big key long run on the Sunday. Route was planned, so yeah, everything was set for Sunday morning, but I didn't get any sleep, hardly any sleep. I was up since 2 a.m, so very little sleep, and yeah, because Hugo decided to regress on his sleep a little bit, which he's not really done for like maybe over a year and a half or something. He decided to do it on the night of my key biggest long run weekend. So I thought, you know what, let's just spend another day carb loading. I'll use Sunday as another carb load, and I'll head out Monday. Yeah, Monday is the option to do it. It does mean that the route that I planned, I can't do it anymore because it absolutely leathered it down last night, and it will be decimated. So I'm just going to go to Rother Valley. It's a 5k loop, so it's not that bad. It just means I'll be going around quite a few times, and yeah, it's going to be mind-numbing a little bit. I don't think I've ever done a long run midday on a Monday, ever. It feels a little bit weird. I've had a very, very good sleep last night. Does it translate to a good run? No, it doesn't, but it's a good start. Running is very mind-boggling at times. Sometimes you get the best night's sleep and have a terrible run, or you have the worst night's sleep and you end up having a really good run. But there's only one way to find out, and that's what we're going to find out today. One thing I've changed for my breakfast and things is I've made a massive rookie mistake. Because I'm actually not checking in luggage, which is the first time ever, because I've never travelled abroad with just hand luggage. I realise I can't take rice pudding as my breakfast because it's over 100ml, and I'm not paying to check in a bag just for a can of rice pudding. So I've had bagels this morning. Nearly at Rother Valley now. Right, I'll see you in a bit. Just done a bit of a warm-up. I'm going to set off in a minute. The sun's come out. It's really, really nice. Got my Pro 3s on. I've got a fairly new pair on today. This pair has been sat in the cupboard for a while. They look new because they're clean, but they have a bit of mileage on them. And they should see me through today quite nicely. So yeah, I'm going to go set off now. I'll see you in a bit. 10.4k, just started the 10k block of pacing. Not feeling very good this run. Definitely not feel like last week. It's very windy, don't know if you can hear, but yeah, very windy. A lot of the path is awful. I'm on the good bit now, but a lot of it is like concrete with sharp, jagged rocks in it. It lasts for ages. It's truly awful. Still bits of mud and pools of water, but we just got to get on with it. Definitely not feeling like last week. It feels a lot harder. So we just have to adjust the pace a bit. The sun's coming out. 10k pacing done. Very, very tough. The wind is battering me, so I'm not sure if you can hear me. yeah, it's just been constant light wind. You can hear me now, struggling to run into the wind. Sun's gone though, so at least that's okay. It's very cloudy now, but there's no cover here. You just get battered by the wind. It's making it very tough, but I think even without the wind I'd find this tougher because I just felt awful. I knew it was going to be a hard day. Completely different to last week. Just on the float now. Probably just slow down a bit more for the float. Get a bit more recovery in. But yeah, this has been really tough. It's not the run that I wanted. But I'll do my best for the second bit. A couple 100 metres left of the float, and then it's another 10. I'm not sure how this 10's going to go, you know. I feel like I'm holding on a little bit, so it might not be the paces that I want, but we'll see. Right, I better get ready. I'll catch you in a bit. Oh my goodness, that was tough. That was tough. I mean, I've done it, but it was just too tough. But yeah, nothing like last week. Struggling all the way through, really. Never really got going. The sun kept coming in and out. Really wish I wore a singlet. And the wind picked up. I'm just cooling down now, really. This is the last float. I'll see them run out to about 35k, I think. I'm supposed to do 36, but I'm just going to cut it short because I don't feel it. If it wasn't for the float between the two sets of 10, I'd have crashed out. It was only possible because that float was in there, and I went quite slow during that. Not the weekend I wanted, not the run that I'd imagined, not the result really I wanted, but you know, a marathon build isn't made and broke on one run. Just got to get used to the fact that I'm sort of in a no man's land now, thinking where I am with Barcelona. But it is what it is. Oh, that's it, run done. 35k, cut it short by 1k. I'd actually jogged over a k to the toilets at the start before the session, so I technically have done over 36. But yeah, very tough run. I knew that it wasn't going to be great because 3k into the run I was panting a little bit, just feeling tired, like in the lungs and the chest area. So I knew that feeling, and I know exactly what's to expect when that starts to happen. But I got through it. It was very tough. The weather kept changing. The sun's back out. The concrete with the sharp little stones and things on the soles of my feet, I could feel it just hurting every time I was going round late in. So yeah, not a great place to do a long run, Rother Valley. It's all right for the fast part run here, one loop, 5k. But when you go over and over and over again, those rocky parts, you feel it coming straight through the midfoot, like the sharpness. So yeah, my soles of my feet are really sore, which I never really get. So yeah, not a great place to do a long run. Rother Valley, I don't think I'd ever use it again. Based on this one run, yeah, no chance, absolutely no chance for a sub 3. But I know that the marathon build is not, made or broke on one run. Last week, similar paces, similar length, and just I was feeling strong at the end of the run, getting quicker. This one I was hanging on. I just felt the stress of the weekend. I felt it. I could feel it on the body. And I think I've messed up all the timings with the breakfast, and I ran too late. I had breakfast at 8:20. I've started the run at 17 past 12. It's 3:15 now. I've basically skipped lunch. My run's gone into the time where I normally have lunch. And I've left it too long after breakfast, I think. So yeah, I've never really done a long run, like I say, on a Monday at midday. It's a shame that this was the last key run
which felt pretty bad. And we'll move on from this. That's it, and I'll see you in a bit.